Hi there, it's Elizabeth here from Full Flight Life Coaching. Hope you're having a great day. I thought I would do a Full Flight and Fierce Friday video as I haven't done one in a while. And I'm going to be talking just a little bit about six essential life survival skills that helped me get through the month of September. So I don't know if you're like me, but September is always a particularly busy month. You've had a nice relaxing time in the summer and you're not booking many appointments and the kids are out of school and people are on holidays. So then all of a sudden September starts and the kids are back in activities and appointments start getting scheduled and things ramp up. And for me, this September is particularly important because, or not important, but busy and sort of important in my life because my youngest son has a birthday, and also I'm having to pack up our entire house because we are going to be renovating in October. So we have to move completely out. Everything in my house has to get boxed up. As a result, last week I was feeling really overwhelmed by everything. And I sat down, and because I'm an old hand at feeling overwhelmed, I know that sensation very well. And I know what to do, how to get myself out of it. So I kind of sat down the other day and I did a blog post about this, the six essential survival skills that you need to be using in order to manage any busy month. And I just pulled from the things that helped me get through this particularly busy September. So I'm going to talk to you about them. So this is my six life survival essentials. So the first one that really helped me out was having a meal plan. And I didn't just start doing this in September. I've been doing it for the longest time, probably, even predating having kids. Just because it helps keep my life running smoothly. So I always say to clients, I recommend having your meals planned 5 days out. But if that's a bit of a stretch or you're having a particularly busy week or a different schedule, then at least have 3 meals planned out and have all the ingredients you need in the house, because that will save you a lot of time and stress and energy, particularly if you have young kids and everyone knows that the hours between 4 and 6 are the witching hours, and they want to know what's for dinner, and you don't want to be sort of flummoxed and floundering around the kitchen trying to pull something together. So meal planning would be number one. And it may seem like a bit of a no-brainer, but I'm always surprised by the number of my clients that don't they don't sit down on Sunday and make a regular meal plan. And I just find my life would be so chaotic without doing that. So that's number one. Number two, early bedtimes. So at the end of the summer, my husband and I got in the habit of staying up late and watching TV. And, it was the Game of Thrones finale and all that jazz. And then school started, and my eldest son, who has special needs, gets particularly anxious at the start of the school year. So he was waking up at like 4:30 in the morning, which means we're waking up at 4:30 in the morning. And if you've gone to bed after 11 o'clock, at least for me at my age, and you have to get up at 4:30, you're feeling pretty irritable and tired. So my husband and I said, we're going to start going to bed earlier. We go up 9:30. Read in bed, whatever it does to help us unwind. No screens, like no social media, trying to turn off all screens and just let our brains relax. So early bedtimes was my second survival essential for September. My third one was regular exercise. And since January, I have been signed up to a new gym in my neighborhood, Thrive. And I pre-book my workouts. It's a small group training, and I also prepay. So my workouts are like 6:25 in the morning, a couple mornings a week. And I just find this works so much better for me than going to dropping in at the gym, which is what I used to do. And although I used to work out hard, I certainly didn't work out as hard as this gym works me out. And when you don't really have to be there, it's easy to procrastinate and say, well, I need to work on this newsletter, or I need to do some social media stuff, or I need to get some groceries, and you don't end up going. So I found the regular exercise through the month of September, which was so busy, and so will October be for me, and probably for you too. Everyone's busy. But I just found that that helped me de-stress and gave me that shot of energy that I needed to carry out all my tasks. So if you can, I don't know, it works for me, pre-booking and pre-paying, because if you've paid the money, chances are you're going to show up. But if you have no one to be beholden to, you have no trainer expecting you, you haven't paid, it's really easy to back out. So that was number 3. Number 4 is, I got 4 and 5 here. Number 4 is, these are 2 tools that I always use. I talk about them in my Passion Dream Challenge that just wrapped a couple weeks ago, and which I did in the spring. And that was 7 videos all about decluttering your life. So decluttering in the physical sense, like in your environment, but also in the mental sense of getting all that overwhelm out of your brain and finding the peace that works for you. And so a mind dump is when you take everything that's swirling around in your head and you dump it out onto paper and you write it all out in black and white, and you just capture it all there on the paper. And I've been doing this for years and it works so well for me. And then you take a separate sheet of paper and you write 2 columns. You have a priority column and a non-priority column. And you just slot all those things that came out of your brain onto those 2 columns. And then you get a sense, right away, you get a sense of feeling like I can handle this, I'm more organized, you can see where the urgency lies and which items are not urgent and you don't have to deal with right now. So it helps me to breathe a little easier. So those are 2 essential survival tools that I always use, the mind dump and then the priority, non-priority list. So backing onto that, number 5, my other survival tool that I use is a daily compass. So a daily compass is, it's kind of the third part of the mind dump. So there's the mind dump, the priority, non-priority list, and then your daily compass. The daily compass is when you look at your priority list and you take the top 3 things that you need to address on that given day. So, sometimes it might be something where maybe your priority list is you have a big meeting coming up that day. So that would be there, like get to the meeting on time, have all your papers organized, have a successful meeting. That might be number 1. But you might have another essential that maybe you didn't write down. Could be something like, get groceries for dinner, and that has to be done too. So you could put that down, or just put, whatever it is, the top 3 things that you definitely need to get done in that day. And that's the daily compass. So what I do, so I don't get off track, if I'm working at my desk, because I work from home, I put the daily compass next to my computer where I can see it always. Or if it's the weekend and I'm in the kitchen or doing stuff around the house, I will tape it to a cupboard, like right by my food prep area. So it doesn't look that attractive, but I can see it. So then if things get really crazy and something happens or people drop by or whatever, I don't get thrown off track. I can look at the daily compass and I can think, right, these are the 3 things I got to get done today. Where am I at? What still needs to be done? If you're out and about, having it on your phone is great. And there's a lot of good apps out there too that can help you out with that. But I just will jot them down on my phone. And then I know, okay, these 3 tasks have to be taken care of. So that's what I refer to as a daily compass. Lastly, the other thing that helped me get through September, which really helps me get through life, I think, is using anchors in your life to tie into big goals, your big goals. So what I mean by anchors is all of us can get really caught up in the day-to-day minutia. So, just the basics. Get up, go to work, you have a commute, make your lunch, make your kids' lunches, come home, prep dinner, watch some TV, pay some bills, go to bed, go to the gym, pretty standard stuff that we're doing every day. And sometimes we lose sight of the big, juicy, sweet things in life that we are working towards, that we want to do. So, big goals. This is what I'm referring to as big goals. And for instance, I have a big goal that I've always wanted to do, which is to go on safari in Africa. And I'm not really in a position to do that right now. There's one particular outfit I want to go with that their safaris are not cheap, to say the least. And that's a big dream of mine, that one day I will go on this, quite luxurious safari in Africa and have my Meryl Streep out of Africa moment. But that's not going to happen in the next 6 months for me. But I still want to keep that goal in mind and think about what I'm working for. Like, what am I, I'm not just here to be a hamster on the wheel. I am here to do and experience things and just have some adventures. And so that's one adventure I'd like to have. So I created an anchor for this. So, one thing that I did that was an anchor type thing is I have a vision board. On the vision board, I will put a picture of Africa or a picture of a lion or an elephant, something to remind me that that's a goal of mine, and I will look at that vision board frequently. Another anchor I have is I subscribe to the newsletter of this particular safari company, and so every couple weeks I will get a newsletter from them, and they'll be talking about 3 new leopard cubs that were born, or what are the 9 top foods they serve on their safaris. And it just reminds me, like, I feel a sense of delight when it comes into my inbox, because it's like, right, I have this goal. My goal is to go to Africa one day. And what am I doing every day to kind of work towards that goal? So that's what I mean by an anchor. Another thing I did in the past was, years ago, we had our first family vacation coming up. We were going to Hawaii, and so I changed my password on the computer at work to have the hotel and I think it was the room number of where we were staying, Coconut 152. I always remember that, Coconut 152. And so that was my password. And some days at work were fairly stressful and, not easy. But whenever I punched in that password, it reminded me, hey, I've got this trip to Hawaii coming up to look forward to. And we all need things to look forward to, and we all need to have dreams and big goals. So what I suggest is creating a couple anchors in your life to remind you of what your big goals are for yourself or for your family. So that was the 6th thing that I did, that when I was mired in the overwhelm of September, I could remember what I was shooting for. Why am I packing all these boxes? What am I packing up and doing all this work for? Well, I'm doing it so that I can have a nice, new, clean kitchen, instead of one that, even though if you clean it, because it was built in 1980, it still doesn't even look that clean. And so that's why I'm doing that in terms of the renovations, right? That's why I'm packing. So, I have a picture on my vision board of a renovated kitchen, because that is one of my goals that we're aiming for, and we're about to start it. So those are my 6 tips. I'll just run through them again. So 6 life survival essentials. 1, having a meal plan. 2, early bedtimes. 3, regular exercise. 4, doing a mind dump and using a priority, non-priority list. And from that, create your daily compass every day, the top 3 things that you need to take care of. And use anchors to tie you to your big goals and your big dreams. So those are 6 essential survival skills that got me through September, that will probably get me through October and the months to come. And I hope you find them useful, and maybe some of these you're already doing. Take what you like, leave the rest. If you want more of this kind of stuff, if you like these tools and like this kind of information, I do have a 6 weeks e-course all about decluttering your world mentally, physically, creating more peace and joy and beauty in your life. It's called Passion Dream School. It's a self-paced e-course, 6 weeks, very reasonably priced, and there's $100 off if you purchase it before midnight tonight. So that's it, the 6-week Passion Dream School e-course, and I'll put the link below if you're interested in finding out more. Okay, I hope these essential survival skills helped, and hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.